chapter 8. Jesus went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning, he again came in the temple, and all the people came unto him and sat down, and he taught them. And the scribes and Pharisees, seeing, brought him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they said unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery, in the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that we should stone her. But what sayest thou? This they said, tempting him that they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground, as he heard them not. And so when they had continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him throw or cast the stone at her. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning with the eldest, even unto the last. And Jesus was left alone. And he said, and the woman standing in the midst when Jesus had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said, Woman, where are those thine accusers? She said, Had no man condemned thee? She said, No man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. Touch your neighbor. Say, neighbor, today we want to talk about. Put your rocks down. If I didn't get any, make sure you get a rock. Keith, that y'all get some rocks. Come downstairs, the usher got you. Just in case you don't have no sin, I want you to have a rock. I want you to have a rock. I want to talk to you on this 145th year. When you build a church, you use bricks and mortar to build the foundation. You use bricks and mortar to put the church together. But after you build it, you need to get rid of your rocks. I've got a witness in here. In this lesson, I need to tell you, in my introduction, that rocks are harmful when they are in obscure places at the wrong time. Rocks are hindrance when you put them in places that have already been prepared. Rocks also can handicap you because you'll be so busy moving rocks that you won't have time to do what the Lord wants you to do. And so I say to you today, put your rocks down. After 145 years of worship and service, after 145 years of lifting up the Christos Eskuros, Christ is Lord, you ought to by now be able to minister to the needs, hurts, and interests of this community without rocks in your hand. Never got a witness in you. You know, sometimes we keep rocks when we were kids just in case a wild dog came down the street while we were walking. We kept a rock, a stick in our hand. Y'all remember that? Then sometimes we would carry rocks when we were walking past the pond so we could skip it across. And had to have, Brother Franklin could tell you got to have a smooth rock so he can get a lot of distance going across the water. But now, when you are in the people building business, you don't have any need for a rock. Have I got a witness in here? Yes, because everybody that comes in the sanctuary has already been wounded. Have I got a witness in here? They're wounded from trouble, trials, and tribulation. They're wounded from a world of stress, anxiety, and frustration. They're wounded from issues and problems of their own persona, as well as what they have wrestled with in the world. So actually, when they come in the sanctuary, they're in recovery. And you know, when people are in recovery, it doesn't take much. Have I got a witness in here? To make them to revert back to their old ways. You can be in a car wreck and they pick you up from the hospital and strap you in and get ready to take you home, and you don't ride the way you used to ride. And once you've been in a wreck, every stoplight, you're looking both ways. You watch and say, slow down, they don't mean it, don't hurry. Slow down, because you're in recovery. Yeah, if you have surgery, whether it's on your knee, your arm, your back, you don't move like you used to move, because you're in recovery. People can say, we won't go, now, you know, when I was a kid, I used to go to the store for fun. Now that I'm on the other side of 50, I have to really want to go for stuff I want. Yeah, and that's because I'm in recovery. And so I want to tell you today that you need to put your rocks down. We're here to meet the needs of a changing generation, a changing congregation, a changing people. But I do need to tell you, one of the reasons you carry rocks because somebody has hurt you. And you said within yourself, that ain't going to happen again. No more. And so you, even though people have good intentions, you say, I'm going to watch it. Just in case I y'all might as well talk to me. I got my rock. Jesus in this lesson had just finished wrestling psychologically in John chapter 7 with the scribes and Pharisees, and they could find no fault in him. And so here they come in chapter 8, and they come with Jesus in the synagogue, dragging a woman. She pulls back, they pull forward. She pulls back, they pull her forward. To finally, they thrust her at the feet of Jesus and say, Master, we caught her. We caught her in the act. No doubt about it. We saw her for ourselves. We caught her. You know what the law says, Jesus. We know what the Mosaic law says, and any woman caught in this act should be stoned. We got our rocks in our hand. What you say, Jesus? The master never said a word. The Bible says he just stooped down, wrote on the ground. Stooping is incarnation. You know, God's been stooping a long time. Have I got a witness in here? He's so humble that he thought enough of us to leave himself and become a creature in a creature he created in order to save us from ourselves. I mean, he stooped. He sat in the womb of a woman for 9 months while he held the world in the palm of his hand. He was an embryo in a woman for 9 months. I'm telling you, he stooped. He stooped to have to be fed for somebody he made. I'm telling you, he stooped. Now, if God stooped, how is it we think we all that and a bag of chips? How is it that we think we're above everybody else? Because all of us in here are sinners saved by grace. You got issues, you got handicaps, you got problems, you got trials, you got tribulations. If we pull the sheet back, it's more to you than beneath the eye. Now I got a witness in here. I know you holy and can speak tongues on Sunday, but there's some other folk that know you on Monday. Now I got a witness in here. And so now if God stooped, how is it that we got the unmitigated gall to look at folk funny who come where we worship like they don't belong in his house? After 145 years, we ought to by now be able to put our rocks down. Have I got a witness in here? After 145 years of lifting the bloodstained banner, surely we ought to know all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Jesus stooped. Now, stooping again was dealing with his incarnation. And now, if we're going to help teenage mothers, we can't do it looking down our noses